Good evening and welcome to Match of the Day, the last of 1984, a year which we end on a high note with two exciting First Division matches on rather treacherous surfaces. Stern tests for Championship contenders Arsenal at Newcastle and Everton at Ipswich.
Tonight's headlines: Glenn Hoddle returns with a goal for Spurs. Chelsea's Kerry Dixon, the country's top scorer, misses a penalty against Manchester United. Peter Shilton's 700th league game sees him pick the ball out of the net 3 times. And Second Division Oxford United become the first club to reach 50 league goals this season. We also have the 4 goals from Aberdeen's game at St Mirren.
The December Goal of the Month competition coming as well, but now the action from St James's Park for Newcastle versus Arsenal, who claimed this morning's headlines by finally settling the Steve Williams deal with Southampton. The exact figures are secret, even from Bob. Steve missed today's game, but thank goodness we didn't, because I think you'll enjoy it. Your commentator, Barry Davis.
Very much seasonal weather in the northeast. The choice of footwear on a variable pitch has been greatly helped by the referee's decision to hold the toss up in his dressing room about 10 minutes or so ago. Ground is very frostbitten on the near side, but gets progressively softer as one approaches the stand on the far side. It's an important match for both sides. Newcastle only 4 points from their last 21, but they welcome back today both Peter Beardsley and David McCreary, recovered from injuries. Among the Arsenal 12, they'll all be conscious of the name not yet among them, but who will make his debut in 1985. They're trying to end a run of 5 consecutive away defeats. They're without Kenny Sanson, who aggravated a groin injury on Boxing Day, so Tommy Caton takes the number 3 shirt, and in the continued absence of Paul Davis, Charlie Nicholas gets another chance at number 8. A chance to silence the doubters, and surely there's no better time than at the end of the old year and just before the start of a new one to do exactly that. Well, the crowd at St James's Park have never seen a 0-0 between these two, and indeed one has to go back 123 games since Newcastle were involved in a 0-0 match anywhere. So either somebody knows something or that record's about to go. Newcastle won the toss and elected to play from right to left as we look. And this afternoon they're wearing their traditional black and white stripes, unlike the curious grey outfit that they wore the last time we saw them at Tottenham. Play by Waddle. Kenny Wharton had gone for the through ball and took his eyes off the play. In fact, it was a perfectly good pass if only Wharton had a quick look behind. Nicholas. Woodcock, Arsenal's captain for the day. Caton's cross, out by Roda to Charlie Nicholas! Great save by Kevin Carr, and he gets a lot of applause, and that's not only to do with that particular save, but the fact that Jack Charlton has stayed with him after his error at West Bromwich, which cost Newcastle the 2 points there. They were drawing at 1-1 and they lost 2-1. But what a good effort by Charlie Nicholas. By Wharton, Talbot, Allenson. Amazingly kept in. Play by Woodcock, and Beardsley makes his pass for him. Appeal for offside, and the flag is up on the far side. This afternoon is Tom Fitzharris, who comes from Bolton. Anderson. Rhoda. Oh, lovely. He's gone too far there. I suppose one could call that a shuffle. It's actually a movement of the leg that doesn't touch the ball in any way. Torwart did well to take it, and he's away. Oh, well, that touch let him down. After the challenge by Rhoda, the next touch that Torwart made cost him the opportunity. Woodcock, Anderson, Nicholas. He was a little unfortunate maybe, and Anderson, I think, had a little bit of luck. He was slightly off balance. I'm not sure he quite intended the pass that he made. Heards can't get it right from the back. Oh, Waddle gets in. Goal kick. The referee is dead right. Appeals in the crowd for a penalty. But it was a genuine attempt to get the ball by the goalkeeper, and Waddle fell about half an hour too late. He only fell when he knew he couldn't get to the ball. Offside against Woodcock. Allinson, Nicholas. McCurry couldn't put the brakes on, but Clark was in the way. Beardsley. Looking for Hurd, what a good run from the back. How can you make some use of it? It's a good deep cross and a good punch. Beardsley, good try, good save. Oh, very good. Good play that. Hurd who made the run and was very well found. It was a long cross to the far post. Lukic did well. Came out to Beardsley, who also did well. Only for Lukic to do better. Lukic doing well once more. And here's Beardsley. Kicked away from the goalkeeper by Allinson. Brown. Waddle. True.
Use it well, Jeff.
He can try again. That's a better ball to Woodcock. It was a very good ball, and the goalkeeper did well. That's what he can do. In a matter of seconds, we saw two sides of Charlie Nicholas then. One poor pass, one superb one. And it was only the pace of Kevin Carr off his line that cost Woodcock the chance. It's hanging a bit. And Carr justifying the confidence of his manager and keeping him in the job. For the Newcastle number 2. Beardsley waited and was held. Megson. Clark. Robson a little fortunate, I think. Great skill of balance on this surface from Tony Woodcock. Allinson. Plenty of Arsenal players forward. Oh! And it was deflected up onto the crossbar. Allinson's teaser, whether intended as a shot or a cross, I'm not sure, but it took the deflection and landed on the crossbar with the goalkeeper and the goal both gaping. Anderson gets there this time. O'Leary. And the crowd trying to keep the toes warm and the circulation moving. Carrying of the ball by Megson. Here's Waddle. If he gets the chance, we'll do it rather quicker. What am I saying? Allinson. Woodcock on the right. Whatever the starts, they're happy to wander. Woodcock. And Beardsley back. And the challenge on Woodcock has produced a free kick and an injury for two players. Woodcock and Talbot. Woodcock, in fact, standing back for Talbot. Had a lot of success earlier, but Nicholas takes it and scores! A minute from half-time, and Charlie Nicholas steals forward to get it past the wall and past Kevin Carr. Charlie Nicholas, whose last goal was a penalty which beat Everton back in early October, breaks the deadlock and gives the fourth place side the lead over the 16th place side. And the journey up from London for those supporters at the moment justified. Anderson. Arsenal end the half in possession and end the half with the only goal scored by the man restored, Charlie Nicholas, in the 44th minute of the half. Newcastle bring on their substitute, Ian Baird, at the start of the second half, replacing David McCreary, who has bruised ribs. Newcastle now attacking the goal to our right. Corner, which Megson will take. Really would set this place alight if Newcastle could get back straight away. And here's Brian Talbot. I'm sure that Newcastle were conscious of Brian Talbot. And they were certainly conscious of that break, which really Woodcock didn't make the most of. And Talbot's position at the free kick certainly drew the attention of Newcastle defenders for the goal. Waddle. Roda. Heard. Offside against Baird. Clark let it go, nod from Mariner. Nicholas hit the post, and I think it's been turned in by the man coming back on the line, who was Glenn Roeder. Well, Newcastle were all over the place then. It was Mariner who set up the opportunity. Woodcock involved in it. Nicholas had the shooting opportunity, hit the post, but Roeder, rushing back, put the ball over the line. So Arsenal have a 2-0 lead with 53 minutes of the match gone. Woodcock, Nicholas. Robson struck it very well, and the goalkeeper was well forward. Mariner. That's a great little ball for Mariner. Nicholas on his own, and he's given it away. Free kick given against Carr for the trip. Really, that should have been 3 for Arsenal and 2 for Nicholas. Would it be Nicholas? No, it will be Keaton, and he's wide. Corbett, Nicholas, Brown's put in. Baird. Free kick against Keaton. Maxon. Brown down the touchline. Needs somebody square. Goes for Beardsley forward. Brown. Mariner who concedes the corner. Jeff Clark behind him. Brown on the near post again, but Arsenal have covered that area well. Waddle, Roeder. Allinson back by Brown. And a penalty has been given. A penalty for holding down, I think. By Tommy Keaton, but the referee looking in. David O'Leary, the man adjudged to have committed the foul. Standing ovation for the conversion of the penalty. Newcastle back in business. 64 minutes. Newcastle United 1, Arsenal 2. Free kick has been given. Wide, and Arsenal take their time. Corbett with the kick. Walton invite his colleagues to chase that. And Jack Charlton comes quite quietly down to the bench. By Baird to Waddle. Baird once more. Maxon waiting in the middle, so is Waddle. Maxon on the near post, away by Allinson. No credit to the Arsenal front players, because they've defended very well. Mariner back again. Allinson having conceded the corner. Roeder was challenging for it. Brown. A cluster of players Clark tried to find an angle and couldn't. The majority of a crowd of just under 27,500 willing Newcastle to save the day. Met by Wharton, only to Anderson. Woodcock. Nicholas. Scored one, made the other. Mariner, who was holding home. Referee called it evens. Wisdom of Solomon. Baird. Talbot. Leon, says the referee. It's a useful ball by Baird to Waddle. Two men preventing him coming inside, goes outside to Brown. That's a good cross! David O'Leary, the man who got it away with an amazing header under great pressure. Caton. That's a nice little ball by Caton. Allinson. 3 up with him for Arsenal. Nicholas. Woodcock wants it far post. Mariner lets it run. Talbot! And it's all over. Beautifully made goal. Brian Talbot makes it 3-1, and many of the crowd around me get up and make for their home far sides. Well constructed goal. The ball delivered well by Charlie Nicholas, and Talbot very calmly ends the contest with, in fact, 3 minutes left, but there is no way back for Newcastle now. Previously, they've only lowered their colours here on their own ground to the city of Liverpool. Liverpool beat them by 2 goals to nothing and Everton by 3-2. They've been lowered to Arsenal this afternoon. And to a crescendo of boos, players come off, Arsenal having taken the spoils of victory. Don Howe obviously delighted that after a run of 5 consecutive away defeats, his side have gained a 3-1 victory. And indeed for him, it's an early bonus of the purchase of Steve Williams, because every midfield player played well, and Charlie Nicholas was involved in all 3 goals, the last of which, scored by Brian Talbot, ended considerable efforts by Newcastle to claw their way back.
So something for everyone at St James's Park, except finally for Newcastle, who ended up with nought for their part in providing the fun. They might have got more if the referee had interpreted Waddle's early clash with Lukic differently, and we viewed Lukic's challenge on Waddle as an honest attempt to play the ball. And I'm not splitting hairs on that one. But in my view, the goalkeeper missed the ball and his arm clearly knocked Waddle's right leg to the left. And the picture you now see is not of a man falling voluntarily, but of one trying to stay up to pop the ball into the net. The rub of the green going against Newcastle there. But Kevin Carr in the other goal was more than blessed not to be booked when Charlie Nicholas burst through the pack and confronted him. And whether his sweeping arm contacted Charlie's leg might be argued, but unquestionably the keeper's intention was to handle the ball or the man, either name-taking offences. It's the old story about which many of you feel strongly: the punishment doesn't fit the crime. Lastly, a Newcastle player who had no luck at all. Charlie Nicholas, understandably, is still claiming Arsenal's second goal as his, but some sharp camera work reveals the truth. A double rebound between post and Glenn Roeder, with the ball finally swept into the net off the defender's backside. Well, staying on the east coast, a touch south but no warmer, it's now Ipswich Town against Everton. The bottom and the top of it. A contrasting Christmas with Ipswich dropping into the bottom three, while Everton, with a win at Sunderland, pulled back alongside Spurs at the top. Your commentator at Portman Road is John Motson.
Just 3 weeks past his 17th birthday, Jason Dozzell starts a home league match for the first time, leading an Ipswich attack which has failed to register a single goal in 7 of their last 8 league games. It's a run which has prompted fears of a relegation struggle for the second year running, and injuries to Burley, Gernon, Davray, Sunderland and Trevor Putney have cut Bobby Ferguson's squad to the bare bones. Kevin O'Callaghan is recalled today. Well, exactly a year ago, Everton were booed off by their own fans, but in 1984, they have played 65 competitive matches and lost just 11. Gary Stevens is still unfit, but Pat Vanden Hauwe returns after suspension, while in attack, an ankle injury to Andy Gray means that Terry Curran starts his first league match since August. He's in his favourite central striking role, where he scored many goals in his Sheffield Wednesday days. Referee Danny Vickers of Ilford made 2 long and thorough inspections of this pitch before deciding at about 1:30 that the game could go ahead. And Ipswich playing from left to right in the first half, and Everton have got to defend the tricky goal mouth. It's very hard at the right-hand end. That was McCall and Yallop's header. Zondervan, McCall. Helped on by Bracewell. Osman with the header clear. Sheedy. Osman again. Gates and Mountfield here. O'Callaghan is backing up, number 7. Here's Yallop. Ipswich with plenty of players forward here. Dozzell. McCall. O'Callaghan, nice turn. Well, O'Callaghan's been given an opportunity today by the injury to Trevor Putney. Player who's sometimes been accused of being inconsistent by his manager, but that was the first sign of life from the Ipswich attack. Peter Reid for Everton. Driving forward for Sharp. And then Vanden Hauwe. And Curran. Oh, and a mistake, and Bracewell. Good save by Cooper. Curran. And away by Osman. Ipswich at 6s and 7s there. But Paul Cooper came to their rescue with a good save from Paul Bracewell. Played short to Curran, back again to Sheedy. And Mountfield's in there, oh dear me. He absolutely missed that, Cooper, and Frank Yallop was on hand to clear. And Sharp's in there with the header, and Cooper's going to come again. Well, his goal bearing something of a charmed life, because Everton must feel now that on chances made, they should be in front. Bracewell, who was foiled by the goalkeeper. Bounce is awkward for Bailey. Zondervan right behind him, and he fouled him. Everton will be pleased if they can get through this half without conceding, because that was regarded as the trickiest end to defend, the trickier end, and so far Ipswich have made very few chances. That was an arm in the face by Bailey as he jumped. So to a murky background, Frank Yallop prepares to take the free kick for Ipswich. Butcher's header, then Mountfield. This is Yallop. And McCall. still McCall. And now Zondervan. Gallups cross, Gates is there. Still Gates, and he couldn't lay it on for Brennan. Good defending by Trevor Stephen. Crowd getting behind Ipswich, knowing how much a goal would do for their confidence. This is Gates. It's a good turn, but a poor shot. Well played by Brennan. He really saw the gap there. And Brennan for Ipswich. Good save by Southall. Well positioned. And Mark Brennan disappointed. He saw the gap open up and he went straight through it. They couldn't catch him, the defenders, but Southall, an excellent goalkeeper when it comes to getting into those positions to make vital saves. Corner to Ipswich. And Butcher's there. And Stephen with the clearance. There was an appeal for handball. Half-hearted one anyway. O'Callaghan. Well battled by Peter Reid. And a good ball too by Vanden Houw down the line there. And very competitive in the midfield as Ipswich sort it out. Here's Cranson. Dazelle going up with Mountfield. McCall. Dazelle still in there. And again the goalkeeper taking over with some authority. Back heel to Sharp. Can go to Bailey here. So a lively first half, but the Ipswich goal drought continues. They haven't found a way through, and indeed Everton early on made two very presentable scoring chances themselves. So at half-time at Portman Road, the score is 0-0. Well, Everton, who start the second half, began this match the highest scorers in the First Division with 45. And they also began it with the best away record in the Championship, having won 6, drawn 1 and lost 3 of their 10 games on opposing grounds. What a transformation Howard Kendall and Colin Harvey and Mick Heaton and the players effected during 1984 at Goodison Park. Sheedy, well played by him. Still Sheedy, chip right across, and Graham Sharp coming in, and Everton take the lead. Graham Sharp, the scorer, after an hour, well made by Kevin Sheedy. So for Sharp, his 18th goal of the season, and his 17th in the last 23 matches that he's played. A really good strike rate, but Sheedy there, known as a left-footed player, made it on the right-hand side of the penalty area with a good little run and cross, and Sharp coming in, finished it off effectively. So Everton, the side pressing for the Championship, take the lead against the team who before this match were firmly in the bottom three. Peter Reid. Ipswich's confidence badly in need of a surge before the match. It needs it even more now. Here's O'Callaghan. It was a really well-made goal by Everton. Quick thinking in and around the penalty area. Nice little run and cross by Sheedy, and Sharp applying the header. Bracewell against Butcher. Reid's just inside him, and there are two waiting, and Osman covered. Ipswich is stretched at the moment, there's no doubt about that. They're a goal behind and want to make a substitution. The player coming off is Mark Brennan. And the player going on is Tommy Parkin, another midfield man. This is Curran. O'Callaghan misjudged the bounce. But here he is again. 10 minutes left. Ipswich 0, Everton 1. O'Callaghan picking it up from McCall. And I don't think he was aiming at Gates, but that's where it went. Here's Yallop. McCall. Back again to Butcher. And now Zondervan, who finds Butcher once more. And Dozzell is there. Oh, that's a great chance missed by Kevin O'Callaghan. Maybe the best Ipswich chance of the whole afternoon. The ball was carefully worked wide, and when the cross came in, Jason Dozzell got a good header down, and Kevin O'Callaghan had lots of time, but put the shot wide. Out on the left, Graham Sharp, the goal scorer. Sheedy, who made it. Zondervan cuts it out. Now, Ipswich have got support here and a good strong tackle by Derek Mountfield. And McCall couldn't collect. And Reid. This is Vandenhouwe. And Curran's ghosted forward here. And Sharp's in there as well, and this is Sharp, and he's turned nicely and finished to get his second, Everton's second, and secure surely 6 points out of 6 over Christmas for Everton away from home. In the end, it was a simple goal. When the ball came to Sharp, he just in fact edged it past Cooper, but it was quite enough, and so he takes his personal tally on to 19 for the season, and Ipswich, I'm afraid, face another home defeat, and already supporters leaving the ground. Well, his finishing this season, Graham Sharp, has been of a very high order for a player who at one time, not so very long ago, was questioned in that very area. There goes Stephen. Well, Everton have done their championship hopes a power of good these last few days, it would seem. That victory at Sunderland looked a very good result, and in company with it, this one's going to look even better in some ways. In by Yallop. Got a touch to it. Dozzell trying to get round Sharp. And a corner to Ipswich. Dozel and Butcher waiting. And Dozel gets a touch. And Everton again defend quite efficiently and win the match, so that Howard Kendall's team prove just how much they mean business in this championship race. 2 away wins in the last 4 days, and the man who clinched this one was Graham Sharp. Nothing like a striker in form, and for Ipswich, 4 home defeats in succession now without scoring. Troubled times perhaps for them, but for Everton, a very healthy Christmas and an indication that they, in 1984, could easily call themselves the team of the year. They've won the FA Cup, and they would now feel that they're very much in with a shout of the championship to go with it.
And strangely enough, this time last year, I was offering words of comfort to Howard Kendall and Everton, who were in the depths of despair. But a glance at this table underlines John Motson's billing for them as the team of the year. In 1984, they've outpointed all their First Division rivals and left even Liverpool trailing. And perhaps that may be some comfort and inspiration for Bobby Ferguson and his presently depleted Ipswich squad. Bob.
Everton, the First Division team of the year then, and they're not doing so badly going into 1985. Still joint leaders with Spurs. Goal difference alone separates the clubs. The top 7 there, in fact, all won today. Spurs beating Sunderland 2-0 and Manchester United coming from behind to beat Chelsea 3-1. Nottingham Forest move up 2 places to 5th after coming from 2 down to beat Aston Villa 3-2. And Sheffield Wednesday are back in the top 6 after an outstanding 3-0 win at Southampton. Glenn Hoddle is back in business. His 8th-minute goal set up Spurs' win over Sunderland. Garth Crooks made sure with a second in injury time. Manchester United, who seem to have got into the habit of losing after leading, did it in reverse today at Chelsea. They went behind to a Gordon Davis goal after 5 minutes, but 20 minutes later were 2-1 up through Hughes and Moses. Frank Stapleton got a third, and United knew it was their day when 23-goal Kerry Dixon, the country's top scorer, missed a penalty. Nottingham Forest's comeback win was even more impressive. They were 2-1 down at home to Villa with 7 minutes left. Then Dutchman Johnny Method equalised, and 3 minutes later Peter Davenport scored the winner, his second goal of the game. That was with a penalty. Sheffield Wednesday's surprise 3-0 victory at Southampton wasn't the best way for England keeper Peter Shilton to celebrate his 700th league game, although Shilton evidently had a blinder. Lee Chapman scored the first 2 for Wednesday. In Division 2, leaders Blackburn lost at home for the first time this season, beaten 3-1 by Huddersfield. They're still 3 points clear, but Oxford, who moved into second place after their 5-0 win over Crystal Palace, have 2 games in hand. In Division 3, the top 3 all won, with Hull stretching their unbeaten run to 13 matches after a 2-1 victory at York. And in the 4th Division, Bury have increased their lead to 3 points after winning 3-0 against Tranmere, who had 2 defenders sent off in the last 15 minutes. Now pools, and it could be a very happy start to 1985 for someone. Just 3 score draws and 4 no-score draws on the coupons, so telephone claims are requested for 18.5 points. The dividend forecast, very good. The important numbers, 13, 17, 50. The no-score draws, 12, 32, 41 and 55. The Scottish Premier Division Championship is still up for grabs. There's no change in the order, but the 2 leaders slipped a little today, allowing Rangers, who beat Dumbarton, and Dundee United, who won at second place Celtic, to close the gap. As for the leaders Aberdeen, well, they were involved in a 2-2 draw at Love Street against St Mirren. Your commentator is Archie McPherson.
Black, almost there. And there's McDougall, yes. That's a better looking ball. And it's a goal, it's the equaliser. Gallagher, all of a sudden, St Mirren back into it. What an intelligent throw out. Spears. And it does get through. McAbenny with a shot. It's there. 2-1. The race is on. Away goes McDougall. Great chance for McDougall, and there is the equaliser.
Well, Well, now for the December Goal of the Month competition. I'll remind you how to enter in a moment, but first a look at the goals, starting with goal A scored by Ian Allinson for Arsenal against Luton Town.
He's taken the throw quickly to Allinson. Oh, good effort, and it's there!
Goal B scored by Brian Steen for Luton Town in the same match.
Job is at the far post. What an overhead kick by Steen. That's really well taken.
Goal C scored by Clive Walker for Sunderland against Tottenham Hotspur.
Hodgson. That's a good bit of play. Howard Gale. Clive Walker trying to get into the centre here. And he's going to meet the crosses. Walker. Goal for Sunderland. Beautifully made and taken by the two wingers.
Goal D scored by Johnny Method for Nottingham Forest against Manchester United.
And Method curls it! Yes! And Johnny Method goes on one of the longest laps of honour of the season.
Goal E scored by Chris Waddle for Newcastle United against Tottenham.
Waddle. Being supplied by Beardsley, and he's made the gap this time. That's a fine goal. That is a really super goal.
Goal F scored by Peter Packholt for Rapid Vienna against Celtic.
Frank McGarvey, great turn. Oh, and Aiken hit the post. And Brucic away. And suddenly here's the break from Packholt. In on Vanna. And it's got to be, and it is!
Goal G scored by Charlie Nicholas for Arsenal against Newcastle United today.
Woodcock and Talbot. Woodcock, in fact, standing back for Talbot. Had a lot of success earlier, but Nicholas takes it and scores!
Here's a check on those goals. Goal A, Ian Allinson. B, Brian Steen. C, Clive Walker. D, Johnny Method. E, Chris Waddle. F, Peter Packholt. G, Charlie Nicholas. And here's how to enter. You put your name and address on the left-hand side of a postcard, please, and your goal selections in 1, 2, 3 order on the right-hand side. And you address the postcard to Goal of the Month, BBC Television, London, W12 8QT. That's Goal of the Month, BBC Television, London, W12 8QT. And the sender of the first correct entry drawn from our postbag to coincide with the choice of our panel will receive £100 worth of premium bonds. Well, that's all for tonight and for 1984 from the Match of the Day team. And we send our best wishes to you for the coming year. We begin it with Match of the Day Live next Friday evening at Ellen Road as Everton begin their defence of the FA Cup against Leeds United. Join us there at 7:05. And by that time you'll have made your New Year resolutions, I trust, most of them concerning your favourite team. And that's just what Arsenal's manager Don Howe did this afternoon, but with a thought for the health of the game as well. Good night to you.
You've got to think about spectators, haven't you? You've got to think what they want. They want to see goals. They don't want to see the same team get away 10 points, 15 points ahead, and then it's all over by Christmas. They like it to be the way it is. That means that I think there's been about 5 leaders of the First Division this year. Smashing. I hope there's another 5 in the second half of the season, and I hope we're one of them.